right? I'm curious, what are some other essential qualities, right, that you believe leaders should have nowadays in today's world? And maybe you can even touch on, the expansion state method that you pioneer.
So what qualities should leader have nowadays?
Yes.
Alrighty. I think it's when I found myself in, that was like 3 years ago in Lisbon. I found myself standing on a balcony, super beautiful summer day. And I felt I had done a lot of work about the inner work, right? And I found myself still angry, frustrated, really like a lot of sadness there, a lot of sadness coming up, like frustrated, angry. And I was like, why can I not have tools in order so that I can use those emotions for the good? How can I use my emotions actually for the good? And how can I regulate myself? And how can I use that? And that's when I dove deeper and actually like really engaged in the work that you were also describing, right? Like the deep inner work is we can find ourselves looping in these emotions, and leadership in the end starts for me with self-leadership, like starting to lead yourself in a way that's profoundly helpful for yourself in the first place, filling your cup first, having the discipline to actually follow through with what you plan, right? So that's super important for me. And in this moment when I was in Lisbon, I was like, no, like I had gone through, I didn't have like this 2 or 3 years of personal growth just to be at the same point where I was before, right? Just looping in the same kind of emotions over and over again. So it's really important to understand that emotional intelligence comes from ourselves realizing the positive emotions that we actually want to bring into our lives. And that's also how we're shaped. So how does this work? Is like the early childhood that you were describing as well, the early childhood memories that we have, we attach meaning to them. So we find ourselves in experiences. For example, I saw a lot of conflicts in my childhood that weren't really handled well in my family, that weren't really skillfully handled well. What I made that mean about myself is that speaking my truth, or even speaking, can be dangerous for me. Okay? Can be very dangerous for me. Can actually hurt myself, right? So a lot of the time, a lot of the years I was living in from like this kind of contraction. I was like, whoa, like I cannot speak my truth. I had a hard time approaching women and overcompensated later, big time in my 20s, but still from that place of like kind of contraction and self-doubt. And I had so many self-doubts. And even though on the outside, like I looked so confident, I was not on the inside confident because I wasn't able to lead myself from an emotional place of healthy. So what it really helped me was using that expansion state method, that I also have webinars on that, to really go into the emotion that I want to live from, and change my whole system through that, change the beliefs that are attached to that. Because we want to go down to the emotional level in order to create the life. And there's been so many studies now, for example, by Dr. Joe Dispenza, that actually if we feel the same emotions, then the same stories come up again, then the same emotions come up again, the same stories come up again. So we can do a lot of inner work and reflection, but then we come out of the retreat and boom, we're spit into the same environment. We have the same emotions, we have the same stories, we have the same emotions, we have the same stories. So we have to go to that deeper level. And that's like part of the method that I'm teaching. Really, how can we use these elevated emotion to then create the life that we want to?